Okay, today I'm here to do a terramycin treatment to the hive. We pulled some honey off this last week, and I treated them then. We gotta treat them again. Now, terramycin helps block American foul brood disease, European foul brood disease, and others. So this terramycin treatment we do every week for a few weeks, and then in the fall and in the spring. So now we smoked them already a bit. Smoked them a little bit more. Now I just pulled this the other day, so it's going to be loose. Almost loose. And stuck it back down pretty good. Today we have a lot of hive beetles to this hive now, so this is a problem. I'm not a big fan of chemicals either. Sit and smash as many of them as I can without smashing the bees, hopefully. And a few of them do get smashed. Damn things are everywhere in here. They always seem to go up to the top like this, and there's quite a bit of them in here. I don't really need to be up in this suit right now, but these guys were temperamental last time I was in here. So I'm just suited up just in case this today. Although so far they seem pretty nice. Must have just had a bad queen day last week. She must have had a headache. They like to get in these gaps here in between the wood. Beetles are horrible. They can slime your frames. I haven't had a slime problem out of this hive, but usually this hive's pretty hygienic. It looks like just lately they've had a problem with hive beetles. Many years of not having any problems with this hive. I very much don't like to use chemicals on my hives. So I prefer to do this method of sit here and squish them. Eventually I'm going to have to do something. A couple different treatments I can use. Take off some of this excess building they're doing here. Beetles are getting in. Alright, now we look at the bees too for signs of things like K-wing, stuff like that. I have a couple, not really K-wing. The bees keep getting in the way of me squishing the beetles. I can't get the beetles without squishing a bee. Kind of makes it hard. There's one right out in the open. Thank you. Smush your daddy. Another beetle smushed. Regular wax building on the top here. I want that out of here. Sorry guys. I didn't mean it, I know. Now right here I'd be getting stung because I made that mistake. do a lot of cleaning like this, it's better to put on your gloves and stuff, just because they can get a bit temperamental when you have to clean a lot. So anyway, this is looking better. Not really seeing any more hive beetles, so I think I got them all. At least all the ones that were up here. God knows there's probably some down in the hive somewhere. Well, my smoker has seemed to have lost smoke, so I'll go reignite my smoker while you guys relax, and I'll start the video again. Okay, so we got our smoker going again. And here, smoke this real good. Now what I want to do is do a little inspection. I just want to check my hive before I go and throw more of the terramycin on. I want to do a little look at a few frames. Clean off some of this excess building. We don't want any of this. Now usually I wouldn't throw this on the ground, but today I don't have anything with me to put it in. Get all that wax out of there. I'm working fast too because I'm losing light. I don't want it to get dark. I've had to work at night too many times in hives. Now as they start to come back up to the top of the frames, I just hit them with a little more smoke. Drives them back down again. Now my smoker also has a hook on it. I can actually hook it onto the side of the hive like this, which can be helpful. But the way I do mine with blocks, I can move them like this. And clean the frames. There we go, so that's decent. And on the sides here we have propolis, which they use like glue for everything in the hive. You can get a little smoky for me. Now usually I don't work near the front of the hive. It's another trick, try to stay away from the entrance. It freaks them out less if you're on the sides or in the back. Less stress. Clean out all this propolis. Some guard bees are coming up from the entrance, so I'm going to smoke them a little bit. And that will cut them off a little. Okay, so I cleaned it up a little. Now I want to remove some frames and look at them. Now one thing we can do is I can use my hive tool. This to loosen them. And a lot of times you gotta go in between the frames of wood like this and just cut down in. Remove the propolis. Make sure you're not cutting bees while you're doing it. Everyone you kill let off a pheromone for the attack signature. So they get more and more aggressive the more you kill, so remember that. I'm moving fairly quickly around them, I don't normally. Like I said, I'm losing light. I got 10 frames in this one instead of 9, so it's going to be tight. Now I have a hive tool specifically designed for removing frames. And this will let me get a grip. See, this one I got too many frames in right now, so I'll cut out a few more slots. I'll remove a frame in, and then I get to the end one easier. Pull this one better. Again, they're starting to come back up from the bottom. So usually right now is when I give them a little hit of smoke, send them back down, make sure the entrance is covered. And I have a vented bottom board. You can also vent from or blow under there. One of the problems with that though is the smoke rises into here and then they all move this way, which is not what I want today. Let's get this one loose. Ooh, been in here a while. Right, I got them glued in good. Okay, well I'll work on this. I'll stop the video because my battery's almost dead. And I'll start it back up once I get it out. So now I've removed that one frame. I got a couple out now. And now they're much easier because I just have to go like this and slightly kick my tool to the side. And I'll slide it loose. Then slow and gentle on the rise, because it'll release. And you don't want to yank it up out of there real hard. Ooh, this one's got some good. Now they've got a lot of pollen and honey on this. I might need to take them down a box because they're not really using this very well. And they got some bee bread in here and some honey and stuff, nothing capped, a lot of bee bread mixed into it and pollen. So I'm going to set these to the side. I think I'm going to pull this whole extra brood box off. I'm going to take a look here. I need to take away this honey store they have, even though it's not capped. But it's old comb anyway, and I'd like to get it out of here, let them start building some fresh comb too. Put it back on. I put on clean frames. Ooh. Again, lots and lots of bee bread and uncapped honey. Bee bread is a mixture of honey and pollen. So smoke a little more. Now I'm going to stop the video. I'll save the battery. I'll continue to remove these and then I'll decide if I'm actually going to pull this entire box off. Now I think the queen was close to this frame, but because they're a little mad at me now, I must have bumped her. But here we have a bunch of honey capped. And it's very dark honey. Now I gave them this to use as a brood cell for the, because they were actually needing the space. I had to give them more space. But now it looks like they turned it into a honeycomb for honey. So we're going to remove this completely and pull the honey. There's another thing of honey in there. So let me put this stuff down somewhere. I'll stick it right here for now. There's one full frame of honey there. And we have another frame of honey over here. I will actually yank this. And I will use this as feed honey and I'll feed them back their honey. That's what I'll do with it. This thing is really glued in. And one thing, if I can find an empty cell down there, I'll take one of these actually and I'll throw it back in for them. Or both of them. I don't really want it. I have enough honey. They're going to need it for the winter, even though in Florida it's not that bad. But I still like to give them a lot of honey for the winter. But I'm definitely pulling this box. Oh, we got a leaf fell in there. Get that out of there. Now we can pull this one off. Which seems to have a little honey to it too. And again, very dark honey that they're producing here. And this is all uncapped, so they haven't been doing very good. They capped all the ones above this, which is pretty interesting. So I will put this honey down and leave it, and we'll put it back in on the bottom if I can find a spot for it. So for right now, I'm going to pull it off. Down here, hopefully no ants get to it quick enough for me to move it. And I'll yank this one off. Then we can get to work on the bottom part, inspecting that, medicating it, and putting this honey in wherever I can find to. Okay, so now I've reassembled the hive and everything. I've added some clean frames for her to start putting brood on. She's not making any brood, so either I'm queenless or she's slacking off on the brood because she's got enough. I don't think that's the case though, but we'll see. She had some old frames too, so she needed new frames to build on. They don't like, sometimes you have to take those old frames out, clean them out like I'm doing with these. I've got them, let me see if I can show you. I've got them over there by the fence stacked up. I've got a few more behind me. And those are the ones that I'm going to be cleaning up. But she got a couple brand new ones, so that'll make her happy. I'm trying to get them off so I can put the lid on. Okay, I gotta medicate them real quick. This is my tyromycin powder. I ordered this one already mixed, so I don't have to mix it with sugar. Normally you have to mix powdered sugar with it. There we go, that's a treatment for this hive. It's on treatment number 2, so we're going to do number 3 next week. And then it should be okay. So we'll smoke them a little bit more, just to get them away from the edge. That way I can sink the lid down without the telescoping lid crushing any. Just go really, really slow. That way any that are in between can get out of the way. Once you're down, yeah. Now they'll all start making their way back in. Now I had an entrance reducer on them because we've had heavy rains. And I know rats like to get into these hives if you leave the front open. But right now I think we're getting a little bit of rain here and there, but it hasn't been enough. It's getting hot again, so I'm going to pull this out and let them work, and then I'll put it back in as it gets cooler out or more rain. I've done this. Ooh, look at that. Got a freaking hive beetle on here. I'd like to get more of them so I can kill them. Yeah, there's one out. This is an entrance reducer. I was using the larger size here. So this way they had more room to get out. And this is the very small one you'd use for up north in the wintertime. But I don't use that down here, I only use this one. So that's a bigger entrance. And now I don't want it in there at all. So we'll let them go back in. I'll smoke them a little. Get them heading that way. Alright, so we broke this hive down to a single level. We've removed its surplus honey. It's got a lot of honey in that one level. After our next terramycin, we'll put a couple of honey supers on there, give them a little more space, and they can store some honey for us. And this is beekeeping. All the joys. Now here I'm going to start removing a couple of these to inspect it. I'm hoping to find babies down here and that my hive hasn't gone queenless. There's not a lot of space for them to go down anymore, so they're going to be in my way a little bit. So, again, go down in between without killing bees. Gently kind of go in between the frames and clear out the propolis. Get enough out of the way. That'll give you some space to play around. And there we go, I got mine sliding a little bit. Steady. Whew. Okay. Calm down, guys. Well, I don't see any brood. Not happy about that. I see no babies in here. I got a lot of nervous bees. My hive might have gone queenless. And they're very active on this one. Yeah, I see no queens. I mean, no brood. Wow. That's making me nervous. Might have a problem with them, so I'll cut you off and join you back later.